Hello, Guardians, and welcome to Destiny Reset, episode 211. This show is about anything and everything related to the Destiny franchise. If you love playing Destiny 2 as much as we do, you're in the right place. This reset, Guardians everywhere come together to welcome the arrival of Cross-Save. We detail all the latest news about Shadowkeep from Gamescom, and finally discuss Bungie's plans for the rest of Season of Opulence. Hello, Guardians, and welcome. It's AER0KNIGHT, and of course, CyborgSasquatch. What's up, man?
Hello, friends.
How are things?
Man, a lot more frames these days.
Ooh, so you did a little Chris save, huh?
There's things that saved across.
Crisscross?
Across the internets.
Applesauce?
That's right.
Yes, there have been some more frames this week. It's been fun. We'll talk about that, though. We knew it would be a big thing, and it's definitely felt like a big old thing, the old cross-save accomplishment.
Yeah, it's been a big week.
It has been a big week. It's weird. We were talking, it's not like crazy news this week, but some big things happened. So.
Well, Gamescom, there's like more detailed news this week.
Right.
About Shadowkeep, but then things happening in the game.
Yes.
Some big shakeups, but we'll get to that.
How was your week personally? Been very busy?
Very busy,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Still doing the house thing? New house thing?
Yeah, that's never going to end, I feel. Still projects going on. I'm doing some stuff in the yard and the landscaping and stuff now. So I'm trying, yeah.
Hey, you already made it to the landscaping.
List is never going to end.
That's impressive. Already made it to the landscaping.
It doesn't mean the inside's finished. It just means we have a party coming up in a couple weeks.
I gotcha.
Kids' B-Day party, and we're doing water slide and what else are we having? Oh, snowballs.
Ooh.
Which, if you don't know what snowballs are, they're also called snow cones or shaved ice in some places.
Oh yeah, snow cones in my parts.
So you can like pay a guy to show up with a cart and make those at a birthday party, apparently.
Dude, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We've done the whole bouncy house slide thing at different parties, but never a curbside come to your house snow cone.
I know, it sounds kind of bougie, doesn't it?
That sounds amazing to me.
It's not really. Anyways, so yeah, I got to get my yard and stuff ready for that because we like cut down a tree and I like pulled out an old shed, and so now I have to there's a whole mess to clean up.
Sounds like
get
it.
Into it.
And then move back inside. Yeah, we don't have to talk about that here.
My back hurts.
I'm sorry. We can talk about Destiny.
Yeah.
Too funny. We have a local snow cone place we go to like 5 minutes from our house. We frequent it.
Kids love that ice and sugar,
Yes, I do too. But we're big kids, Yeah, my week's been good, dude. It is crazy at my work right now. There's just a ton going on. We replaced like 18 of our 40 PCs the other day. Got some help from our IT partners, but man, there's just so many projects going on at work right now. It's supposed to be like, I don't even know. I don't know what it's supposed to be like, but anyways, school's kicking back in, all that kind of stuff. So it's all good. It's all good. Just, trying to get done with my solstice armor. I'm still on my first character.
You're on blue?
I'm on blue. Yes, I'm over halfway through blue. So I am definitely that guardian that they probably had in mind. Maybe a little even behind that. For it to take a full month. Yeah, I'm hoping so. I dove in a couple of times here this week. I haven't been on a ton, but I was able to knock some stuff out. So
you need to hurry up so that we can do a raid this weekend.
Yeah, I hear. I can't wait. We definitely gotta, and I can't wait to go into the Crucible with you, man. Like, we can do a raid. That's all good. Definitely sounds fun, but I'm gonna be a noob cake because I haven't ran any of the recent ones. But
can you shoot a gun?
Well,
Can
I
you
think
stand
I could do that, sir.
in a place? Then you can raid.
Yep. I miss raiding, but we got to get in the Crucible too, though. I want to talk about that because I did some PvP shenanigans on PC.
For sure.
But anyways, all right, let's move on.
Sweat with the best of them. Well, let's talk some Destiny.
Let's do it.
No announcements this week besides the fact that if you're planning to play Destiny on PC come October 1st, of course, you'll be on Steam. There is a Steam group for Destiny Reset. Now,
I forgot it existed.
We found that the group search feature on Steam is not great. It doesn't necessarily find what you're looking for. So we're going to have a link in the Discord if you would like to join that group so that you can easily find other people in the Derp fam to play with.
Yes.
And you can join the group, and hopefully that'll make it easier to populate friends lists and things like that. So head to the Discord and probably look at announcements in the PC channel for those things.
There you go. It's exciting stuff, man. We made that Steam group some time ago.
When we found out it was going to PC and we didn't know what platform, we created a Steam group because that was where we were hedging our bets, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And it's been sitting there ever since.
It has eventually happened.
It's funny. 2 years later.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is the Destiny Reset is the name of the group.
Yes.
Yeah. But let's do some news because we do have news to talk about this week.
We do, sir. Lead us into that twabby.
All right. This week at Bungie, we broke down a barrier. Indeed, they did. Mm-hmm. So, as you know, cross-save launched this Wednesday of this past week. There was a little delay, a little snag, and people got a little nervous, but they did pull it through.
Never fear.
Yeah. I was like, oh, well, if it gets delayed a day, no big deal. But then like a couple hours later, the maintenance went live and it went up. Now, there were some snags, and I know some players are still having a little trouble dealing with authentication issues and funny stuff. But we'll get to that in Destiny Player Support.
It's so funny. Mine, I was authenticating. I'm sure it's in there, but when it just started to work for people, I would authenticate and then two would deauthenticate, and then I would authenticate and another one would deauthenticate, and I was just playing this game back and forth for 10 minutes, and I just logged out and back in.
It was like whack-a-mole. I was lucky at it. Mine all authenticated very easily, but then I got an error without a specific code, and then I went to where some of my friends were talking and they said, oh, I disabled ad blocker and it worked. So I did that and that solved the problem for me.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I've heard a few things like simple fixes for some people, disable ad blocker, open your browser in incognito mode, try using Chrome.
People were figuring that stuff out fast.
Yeah. So just try anything, they want to get it to work. But, I hope people are getting that resolved, and I'm sure it'll get worked out. But in the meantime, while this was going on, Bungie was at Gamescom over across the pond from us here in the U.S. and showcasing some trailers and more details on Shadowkeep.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of cool to see Bungie up with Xbox.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, that was cool. Even as a PS4 guardian.
Yeah. They're not just tied to Sony anymore. Mm-hmm. I like it.
It's a good thing.
I don't want to see any exclusives, but I just like them having that relationship,
I'll tell you what, man. I can't remember if we talked about it on the show or just you and I were chatting about it, but Xbox they are setting themselves up pretty, it seems like, for this next console, which it works that way. It's one way, one generation, and then the next generation. But it would not, I was a big 360 player. It would not take much for me to go back Xbox. They seem like
you know them Microsoft boys. They're going places.
They're lining some things up.
They're going somewhere. You know.
Definitely. But you've been saying that about some of their products that they've been working on for a little while now.
Strong moves.
Mm-hmm.
But back to the TWAB here. So Gamescom, Bungie, cross save, all those things are going on this week. We got a few minutes with them at the Gamescom like showcase at the Xbox. What is it called? The Xbox something.
What is it called? Inside Xbox?
There we go. Inside Xbox.
There you
got it. That was going on. So we got a few minutes there where they talked a little bit about finishers and some of the other things that we're going to be looking forward to here. And then, of course, we got 2 trailers, one for Shadowkeep and then another one for Season of the Undying, so this is kind of interesting how there's like this delineation between the seasons focus and the focus of the expansion.
Yeah. Like you wonder, obviously that might just be for the launch of Shadowkeep. But I did go back because I wanted to see when the PvP reveal was.
Mm-hmm.
And, I wanted to see where it was in Deej's list when he did the TWAB. Okay. And I forgot that I was thinking it was the next thing after Cross Save launched, and there's one before it that says how seasons will change in D2 year 3.
Oh yeah, true that.
Yep. I forgot about that one. I think I'm anticipating that PvP one, but I guess
the PvP one is unfortunately last.
Yeah, it's basically last. The last thing is I think an event or something, but not to downplay that one, but anyways, so I guess we're going to get that in some form or fashion. So maybe we'll get some more details on how they're separating these two things.
Yeah, and it's interesting because they had promised I want to say they had phrased it like a story trailer almost or something. And I was expecting a story trailer for Shadowkeep, but instead we got sort of a teaser story trailer for Season of the Undying. So, kind of from what I've pieced together, we've got, of course, the events that we know are going to transpire loosely in Shadowkeep. Something on the moon, right? Something on the moon stirs and awakens. So we've got that, and then Luke Smith has told us about how, some events are going to unfold over the course of the season that will culminate in something happening. And then we're told that for the Season of the Undying, the Vex are going to be up to something. I'm trying to be careful because I had read this quote unquote leak that has proven to not be accurate, but it had mentioned something about the Vex invading different places, and I don't think that that's accurate to what their marketing material has said. But we know that there's going to be Vex up to something with the Black Garden, right? And then that's going to obviously involve the raid, the new raid that we've gotten a name for, and we know it's Garden of Salvation is the name of the raid, and we know it takes place in the Black Garden, although piecing together, it seems the Black Garden might have moved locations, which is interesting. But anyways, so there's like these kind of two pieces of the puzzle here, and I'm very curious to see how that plays out. Like you mentioned, how seasons change, right?
Mm-hmm.
They could be. We had like sort of story content, for each one, but it seems like maybe they'll be more related. I'm not sure.
I hope so. It definitely sounds like that. And
like I think one story could kind of roll into the next, which I would welcome.
Kind of made it sound that way. And I think that'd be cool. Definitely a neater way to do it versus kind of like all concluding inside of one season.
Yeah, like standalone stories that don't feel like they're connected, right?
Like both could be cool. I think it's just a continuation of a story is always seems like it could be more interesting. Just like a cliffhanger at the end of one season, and then you move on into.
Well, we want a world
story.
That feels kind of real and active and alive, and you don't want it to necessarily feel like you get everything just one tangential piece at a time, right? Like, I'd rather see something that has like a long form story that kind of plays out, and not everything has to roll into the other, but at least feel like they're connected in a way. Yeah,
definitely. I agree. And over a season, and then maybe each fall with a decent expansion launch, it kind of starts over into a new story. I agree. Yeah. That sounds pretty cool. There was also, all kinds of, rumblings about that season of the Undying trailer too, because apparently there was two different things, right? Like way back when we first started calling the Taken King expansion Comet, when they put up that image that, whether it was leaked, whatever it was, one of the DLCs was Vex Void is what it was called, and it had an image like you see that close up of the Vex in that trailer.
Yeah, like the actual icon from that original leaked image is used somewhere else. I don't remember where it was when we got a tease for something. So that's kind of interesting. And then this cinematic or a form of this cinematic was actually leaked 2 years ago by the production studio that worked on it. And it's funny because I was take all this with a grain of salt, because it's not, backed up with like a hard source, but I saw some people talking about it on Reddit, and this guy said, this is really funny because I, was at this production house for something else, back before Vanilla Destiny launched, and I saw a rough draft of this.
Wow.
And so apparently this could have been around for a very long time for some expansion that was Vex related that never saw the light of day, right? And obviously they've purposed it for what they need it for now, and maybe this storyline or something like it, was meant to see the light of day and never did, and that happens, like, especially in live games, and I think in any game development, like, things evolve and change, and stuff that's on the drawing board, gets scrapped, and better ideas see the light of day, right?
That's exactly what I was going to say, because it's, we didn't really so much go back to that with this, but over the years of being a gamer, we've heard so many times about content being cut or held back, even though it's done this or that. In this case, in many cases, I'm sure, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes, and things, you said it exactly, things that probably just get scrapped at a certain point, or it's just not the time to do it. I mean, there's no telling how many ideas they throw around behind the scenes, and even probably get to a certain point in drafting up some layers of the idea, whether it's just concept art or whether it's, who knows how far they make it before they at different times decide, it's not the time, or a big shift has happened and they need to do this or that. But anyways,
I'm
it's cool.
Excited though that we saw this trailer used, and whatever the ideas were for that Vex expansion, maybe we're going to see as part of this season, and whatever that story is. The Vex haven't been involved as a central part of a story in a while.
And I realized that as I was watching it.
Curse of Osiris, I guess loosely, but I felt like that was. It's almost like it was a standalone,
right?
Short story is how Curse of Osiris felt, I don't know.
I didn't realize how much I had missed the Vex as an enemy, like a primary enemy, till watching that trailer. And just, of course it got you, it gets you thinking about Vault and stuff like that, but it's like, ooh, okay, all right, this feels cool. Like, this works.
The Vex are interesting because they're so mysterious, because they don't have like there's not like a central bad guy for the Vex. Like it's a
Right.
collective, right, of artificial intelligence. So, and you don't even totally know from whence they came or what their true purpose is. You know, I mean, well, you could argue like judging by what we do know is like their objective is just to be the last living thing. But I'm sure there's more to it than that.
They're just very interesting. I feel like if we went way back to our episode, I remember like we for sure, and I think a lot of Guardians were wanting the Cabal enemy. You know, remember we wanted a Cabal raid. We wanted
Yeah,
that
I remember
Cabal
talking about
armor.
that.
Yeah, and now it's like,
Yeah.
okay, we got all that.
We got a
Like,
ton of Cabal stuff. Now it's
Yeah.
time. I'd really like to see some more Vex and Fallen stuff. Like,
Well, plus two, random note, we saw that I guess it was a still screenshot of some of the new armor. I saw speculation that it was Eververse armor, but I can't confirm that. But
I think it's been confirmed that the Vex armor that has been shown off is from the new activity. We're going to get to that.
Excellent. Yes. But
yeah,
without diving into it too much, it looks beautiful. It looks great, dude.
it's
I'm digging it.
The Destiny 1 Year 3 when they did the ornaments on the Vault of Glass raid, and everything was all vexified. It reminds me of that, and I love it.
I just love. I know, like you also love like the Crota-ish type stuff, you know, different or King's Fall. I don't mind that stuff, but I always just lean more towards the sleek, vexy. You know, like I liked the Siva stuff, you know, because it was just clean edges. So yeah, I'm pumped to see this stuff, see what we get this fall.
Yeah, but so we were talking about the trailers. So of course we got the Season of the Undying trailer, and we'll be hearing more about that, I'm sure, and what that means. We also got a Shadowkeep trailer, and it really kind of just showed off a lot of combat, a lot of weapons, finishers, stuff like that. More of a dessert than a meal.
Little,
you know,
Monte Carlo in there, right?
Oh yeah, Monte Carlo showed up. What else did we see? We did see some new exotics. We saw there's going to be there's a pre-order bonus where you can pre-order and get two-tailed fox with an ornament. But there's also this rocket launcher that we're not quite sure what it is yet. It's void in appearance and looks unique. I don't think I've seen anything else like it in the game. And from what it looks like is when it hits, it launches like void seekers, almost like the old school Hive shriekers. But you never know totally with trailers because they're piecing together and jump cutting like what you're seeing. But there's some pretty cool looking stuff in here that I can definitely be excited about. We saw some screen grabs of at least 3 new class related armor pieces, exotic armor pieces. We saw a chest piece for the Warlock, it looks like, some greaves for the Titan, and a helmet for the Hunter that everybody's drooling over. It looks pretty cool. So lots of stuff to gaggle over there in those trailers. We're going to get to some of the Gamescom coverage, but we're going to proceed through the TWAB here first. You can, of course, check out these trailers in the TWAB or on YouTube if you want to check them out if you haven't seen them yet. They go on to talk about migratory preparations alongside cross-save. They also launched the beginning of the transition of Destiny 2 to Steam. So you can go to bungie.net/PC move, and you can link your Steam and battle.net account if you already have each of those. And that is the first step in transferring. I think the most important part of it is your licenses for the content, as well as your character if you have a character that you're going to want to move over. So you can do that now. I went ahead and took care of that.
Same here.
And then they do have some important information here now. Keep in mind, they're not moving to Steam until October 1st, but really crucial information here that is very pertinent in the now is that if you want to purchase any of the previous content on Steam, for instance, if you are cross-saving and starting to play on PC or something like that, like me and Arrow have been doing, you're only going to be able to purchase that content, for instance, Destiny 2 Vanilla, any of the expansions, Forsaken Annual Pass, etc., until September 3rd. So there's going to be like a whole month there where if you didn't grab that stuff, you're going to be stuff out of luck, for lack of a better term. So if you haven't grabbed that yet, you're going to have, I guess, a week or two now after this reset. I guess maybe a week after you're going to hear this show, to take care of that and grab that stuff now. Otherwise, you'll have to wait until the move to Steam on October 1st to be able to purchase that content.
Yeah, and like we said last week, which we still didn't confirm the consoles. You'd think it would be similar, but you can still pick up Forsaken and the annual pass for $40.
Yeah, and they have confirmed that that's going to be the price after October 1st as well for that same content. So if you want to get basically everything from the annual pass and Forsaken back, you'll pay $40. Mm-hmm. Unless you want to, if you have some of that stuff and you want to piecemeal buy some of the rest of it, I'm sure you can get some of that stuff cheaper, say if you just didn't have the annual pass and you want that. But you don't have to. You don't have to have that.
That's why I'm, once again, we were talking earlier, interested about how the seasons are going to work, because Season of the Undying, of course, launches with Shadowkeep. And they talk about things being a la carte or whatever.
They did say Season of the Undying comes with Shadowkeep, and that's how you have to get it, I believe. Mm-hmm. But I might be wrong. I mean, it's possible you could just buy that season. Mm-hmm. But
because they usually do like the DLC different from the seasonal stuff. They separate it on their little infographics. But that's a good point, because I have heard the confirmation that you said the same thing, that it comes with Shadowkeep. So what happens if you don't get Shadowkeep? Can you get the season stuff like you said?
I imagine you could. And then past Shadowkeep, you'll be able to buy the seasons a la carte. Mm-hmm. And I don't. Does it include all the seasons in the digital deluxe?
I'm not sure. That was one thing I wondered with going with the a la carte, which is, it's excellent. You can pick and choose what you want to play depending on if you think, how much you'll be interested in it. I like getting a deal,
though, if I know I'm going to
exactly. So, for people like us, like I just want to pick up an annual pass, and not have to think about it every 3 months. Mm-hmm. I can't remember that on the digital deluxe either. Need to double check the fine print.
We'll look into more of those details and confirm the news for you guys on the show. If you know, send us the info. Of course, all this stuff is kind of trickling out, and we'll find out more and more how things are going to work, right?
Think about how much it is for us to cover it. Imagine trying to implement all this stuff on the back end.
Planning it all out and having to market it, put it all out,
launching
so it's understandable.
Cross-save while a portion of the team is at Gamescom,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, man.
It gets a little crazy, I'm sure. So that's important information. So September 3rd is when the cutoff will be to purchase that stuff on Steam. They also mentioned you will be able to pre-purchase the expansion, Shadowkeep, on Steam if you like. Although, of course, you can't access it until launch. So if you want to pre-order, if you're on PC, to go ahead and get that content on Steam, you can. I don't think that you can buy it on Battle.net that I know of. So. I would be surprised if you could. So, all important stuff. But this is just if you're on PC. If you're on a console, I'm sorry that you have to listen to us and bear us going on and on about this stuff.
Yeah, sorry.
They also mention about silver. you may begin to purchase silver on Steam starting October 1st. And something to keep in mind, I don't think you'll be able to purchase silver as well past September 3rd on Battle.net. So they mention if they're going to have some stuff you may want to buy with silver, some things returning. They show off a little image of like Ghost, Sparrow, some other stuff that they'll have for sale for silver that you may want to grab. So you might want to purchase some now if you want to have the silver available to buy it. I think that's their point here. So yes, buy it while you can if that's what you're into.
That's your thing.
Yes.
The silver.
So many details to keep up with right now.
Silver.
Now we've got a little preview of what's coming up in the month ahead. We've got our Solstice of Heroes, of course, ending August 27th, this reset. We've got Iron Banner starting this coming reset, the 27th through the 3rd. We've got an update coming the 3rd through the 10th that week, 2.5.2.2. And then they show Moments of Triumph week / Infamy week, Infamy Boost week. I don't know what Moments of Triumph week is, but I know you have been waiting for that Infamy Boost, Arrow.
Yes.
And so we see on the calendar.
Waiting for that from a Dredgen.
Yeah, we're actually going to get 2 of these this before the season ends. And then we get another Iron Banner.
I was going to say, is that when Moments of Triumph wraps up, that the 17th? So
yes, the 17th is the last week.
Yeah. So whatever reason, I guess maybe that's why they're going to call it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to have anything special that week going on, but that would be cool. Some unique stuff to do or to see or buy or something. I don't know. Earn. So then we get another Iron Banner. This is the one I think that they decided to have to like fill in that extra, since the season is longer, they're like, yeah, we're going to do an extra Iron Banner. This is the extra Iron Banner. So the 17th through the 24th. And then, that last week of the season, we're getting Mayhem along with a Valor boost and an Infamy boost. So just boost it up. Have fun that week. Earn all those Valor and Infamy points that you need for whatever you might be working on. So that's the rest of the season. Now, you might notice a conspicuous absence of a anticipated solar week.
Yep.
I believe Tim G on Twitter or Reddit
I think it was
today.
On Reddit. Yep.
Brought this up today, being we're recording on Thursday this week. And he mentions, the fact is there was never a solar week announced. It's not in development. It's not happening. If it is coming, they'll let us know. So no solar week. If you're anticipating that, don't listen so much to the data miners.
Right. This can happen sometimes with that.
Can happen. Yep. Sorry if you were expecting Gjallarhorn. I'm glad we're not getting Gjallarhorn.
Well, that's what everybody's calling that Void rocket they're seeing in the trailer now, the Void Gjallarhorn.
Galar Void.
There you go.
So that's what we can expect through the rest of the season. But we also get a cool community challenge. So this was mentioned a couple weeks ago, right? We're going to have a community challenge based on Mars. Now, we did get an preview of some changes to some of the Mars sandbox stuff. For instance, changes to how some of the Braytech weapons drop and things like that. Other Mars related stuff. So they said, what a great opportunity to have a Mars based community challenge. Mm-hmm. So here's what we're going to see. September 3rd through September 10th. We have community objectives. So check this out. Defeat 175,000 Wave 7 EP bosses, 300 million Hive on Mars. For Mars Nightfalls, you have to defeat Nokris 150,000 times and Zol 100,000 times and use 300,000 override frequencies.
It's crazy.
That's a lot of things to kill.
Yes. I gotta say though, like, this is pretty cool, man. Like, I could see this becoming a thing. So they rally the community around one destination or something of that nature.
A lot of MMOs do stuff like this.
Mm-hmm. It's like a public event.
Yeah,
times 1,000.
I think it's pretty cool.
Sorry, Flashpoint.
Yeah, I definitely think the community will accomplish it. They do have some rewards. So if all objectives are completed during the event, any player to complete at least one Nightfall will be granted a unique emblem. So they have a cool looking Warmind themed emblem. And then they mention this also serves as an opportunity for you to further impress Emperor Callus. So if we reach all the goals, Callus will unlock additional rewards for successful menagerie completions. Starting when goals are met, you'll be guaranteed 2 rewards when slotting your runes and opening the chest, and an additional reward each Friday for the remainder of the season.
Cool, man.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm
into it.
I forget where they said it in a TWAB at some point that Callus would possibly become more rewarding. So
yeah,
obviously this
I like how they're going to tie it in.
Thoughts. Yeah. I don't know, man. I get some positive vibes off of this community event like this. I think either something like this or this exactly, maybe once a season, could be pretty cool. Now, they're not saying they're going to do that. This is kind of like a one-time thing for right now, it seems like. But it's kind of cool to rally the community like this. Go see if we can accomplish these numbers. When I first read this, I guess I grazed over the fact that it was, I mean, obviously it's a community thing. And I'm like, is this some sort of joke? What are these figures?
Each of you have to kill 300 million Hive.
It's like, yeah, this is cool.
Yeah.
But anyways,
that's
neat. What do you think? I mean, you like it?
Yeah, I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, spend some more time on Mars. I mean, every wayfarer out there, including myself, I think it's been long enough for me now that I'm okay to go back. But anybody that's recently got their wayfarer is probably like, yeah, not going back.
Well, and I still haven't finished that Triumph where you have to unlock every override frequency.
Oh, I haven't either. I'm missing like 4, I think.
Yeah, I think I need 4. So this is going to be the opportunity to do it. I've read up on some unique tips and tricks for that one too that I'm gonna brush up on and see if I can take advantage of. So
yeah, definitely.
I'll
you have Wayfarer though, right? You have the Wayfarer title.
Yeah,
I thought so. Okay.
Yeah, I got all that done, but just not the 40 out of 40 on that thing. That's probably the most brutal grind in Destiny.
Base. Yep.
Finding some dang Warmind thingies. So, Destiny player support. They mention Steam linking and cross save is a preparatory step for PC players. Cross save is a different thing that allows you to bring your preferred guardians with you across all supported platforms, of course. They talk about something that I think is really smart called a 90-day waiting period. So, in order to prevent, I believe, a number of things, one of them they mention is account recoveries. But once you have enabled cross save, if you disable it, there is a 90-day waiting period to re-enable that feature. So I think the idea here is to prevent people from swapping through lots of different accounts. With the cross save feature, it doesn't mean that you can't operate different accounts if you choose. You just won't be able to take advantage of cross save, right? And I've already talked with a few people who are looking to do this, and even people in our community have brought this up for various reasons. They want to, keep up a different account on a different platform, and I think all you have to do is just not use cross save if that's what you want to do, which is, I think, is fine. It's a tool that's there if you want to use it. Now, I would gander to say long term, cross save may become a built-in thing. That would be my guess, but for now, it's an optional thing. Yeah. So, some other things with that 90-day waiting period that are kind of interesting, have to do with, if you purchase silver, you cannot disable cross save until 90 days after it's purchased. Players who perform a refund for silver can't or activate cross save until the silver is repurchased. Additionally, if you have a ban or restriction, you cannot activate cross save or disable cross save until it is expired. So they're really going to be using this feature to ensure people can't, I guess, circumvent restrictions and do funny stuff in the stores and etc. Right? Mm-hmm. So they're smart. They're thinking ahead about how all this is going to work, which I think is
as
good.
always.
Yeah.
Yep.
Solstice of Heroes. At the next weekly reset, which is August 27th, it ends and the European aerial zone will no longer be accessible. So you'll want to have those armor sets finished if that's your goal. If you want to have the legendary set and etc. for different characters on your account, you won't be able to upgrade those armor sets after that. Now you can, if you have the legendary set called the Majestic set, you'll be able to still work on the masterwork features of those if you so choose. Mm-hmm. Personally, I'm not going to really spend any time on that because I doubt that we're going to get a masterworked set back.
Yeah, true.
When we get the Armor 2.0 set.
I think it's a big deal that you can do it after. I like
Sure.
that you have to get to legendary before, but then you can masterwork after. I like that. But
yeah,
you're right. We're going to get that with Armor 2.0, and I think you're probably right. I don't know that they're already giving us a set right off the bat of Armor 2.0. I don't know that they're going to give us it masterworked as well.
Yeah, we don't even know how masterworking is going to work on armor, if it's the same, what the requirements, I imagine the requirements and the even the materials might be different for that. So who knows, but I'm just not going to burn any time on it.
Yeah.
They're cool, but for me, they're just cosmetic and something that I earned.
Well, the other thing too is, which I almost forgot because I'm on the last week and trying to still finish off my blue set. I got to go make some purchases at Eververse, right? The only way I can get is either with Bright Dust or Silver. It's made me think more and more, man, I really wish there was like a way you could get, I feel like there could have been a way to get like one set of glows via, grinding or gameplay. But I mean, you're talking, it's 800 silver for all three sets, right?
Or 5,000. So it's what? I think it's 800 silver per element.
Set, right? Elemental set. Yes.
Yeah. Or 5,000 bright dust. So they were kind of expensive. I haven't bought any yet because I'm like, I don't even know if I want to spend either of these currencies on something that I'm not going to wear that long.
Well, I've spent like 4,000 to 5,000 bright dust over the last 3 or 4 resets, and I've only back up to like 2,000, so there's no way I can buy it that way. So I don't know. I wish you could just maybe think split your transaction. Can I pay half in bright dust and half in silver, please?
That'd be cool, right? They did mention something,
but yeah,
about...
I'm the same. Like I want them. I just don't know. Like it's a chunk of change. I want to support Bungie, but for glows that you don't know if it's going to be armor you're going to wear.
Yeah.
How long you're going to wear it into the next, DLC and season.
I have a little bit of a problem with the cost on some of the cosmetic stuff is just a little, it's subjective, but for me to spend my money, it's too high. So, other people might disagree. Hell, the data might even disagree. But if you want my money, you're charging too much. That's the problem. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, and it just for this particular thing, I wish you could have like grinded one set of the glows. in some gameplay fashion of grinding through your gear.
Yeah, through the EAZ packages or something.
Yeah, at least, yeah, even if it was RNG, which granted, I don't know how they would have regulated that. I mean, I'm trying to be fair here where, if they want us to, support them and spend some money at Eververse, just lock it down to one element that you could get, but I don't know. Anyways, it's just made me think about it. Like I'm the same as you. Like I want to support them, but for this particular thing, I just don't know if I'm going to drop, that much money on the glows. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I get it.
Maybe one set. So at least you can glow every now and then if you want to.
It just makes me wonder. So, with any microtransaction system, a lot of the economics are based on what they call whales, which are people that just spend ridiculous amounts of money in microtransaction stores. And so it just makes me wonder, like, do they really have enough people spending that much money that they can charge that much and not get my money?
Right.
Because I feel like they're just right on like if they just had a certain percentage less on what they're charging on some stuff, like 30% less, like I would spend money on some of this stuff. But it's just a little too much sometimes.
Yep. No, I feel you.
For cosmetic stuff that I don't get to keep necessarily, like, or can't use forever. I don't know.
But I am okay with it being nothing but cosmetic.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I feel you.
There'll
sure.
always
I'm
be
right there
things
with
to
you.
complain about in microtransactions, so.
Yeah. One of those things.
So yeah, Solstice. It's going to end. Get your stuff, buy your things, etc., etc. Movies of the week. Some cool stuff. If you are on Twitter, you might have ran across this gentleman that's been doing lots of hunter-inspired, what would you even call this? Live-action renditions of subclass animations.
Yeah.
He is acrobatically talented, and he's been doing lots of, like, arc strider movements and stuff, and then they'll go in with, like, post effects and add some, like, cool lightning and stuff, and it just looks amazing.
Yeah, it looks great.
So go check this out. He's really talented.
Yeah, we like you said, I've seen him on Twitter over the last good many weeks, just one as he does each one. But this is obviously a compilation of a lot of them together, and it's super cool. And they overlay the actual Guardian the Hunter's animation with it, so very cool.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. But that is this week at Bungie. Moving on to other news, I'll throw out there is some new stuff in the Bungie store this week. Some cool glassware. They've restocked a couple things. You might have gotten some notifications if you're waiting on some of the Bungie Foundation stuff.
Any new pins, Cyborg?
No new pins.
No, you're up on your
pins. I wouldn't tell you if there were, so I can make sure I buy them first. But
tell us the episode after you order yours.
Yep. But there is some cool like Gambit pint glass sets and a new tricorn water bottle that's really cool, and there's a bunch of cool stuff. Go check it out. Talking about Gamescom a little bit and some of the more detailed I guess bullet points that we got here. We got to see some cool finishers.
Yep.
And
we get to see
a little
each
bit
one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, see a little bit more how those work. It seems so just to perform, a regular finisher when certain enemies, it seems like, majors and ultras, I think, get to a certain level of health, they'll kind of be in the stun animation and they'll glow. And that's when you'll be able to walk up and do your finisher thing. And it seems like it doesn't cost any like super or anything like that to perform just the normal finisher. But they showed us how through your artifact, you'll be able to unlock certain mods that you'll slot into gear, and it will enable you to do finishers that have it almost like build a perk into your finisher.
Mm-hmm.
So one example is called Heavy Finisher. And when you perform it, it requires 1/2 of your super energy, but it drops
Craziness.
a heavy for everyone in your fire team.
Yeah.
And then it goes on. We had
an
like
expensive
Yeah.
decision.
There's a number of other different finishers and other perks and stuff. And then other artifact mods that we saw that are really cool that have to do with abilities and guns and all kinds of really unique stuff that we'll get to play around with. So these look
and
really
then
cool.
we kind of saw how the artifact's going to work. Like it's not, I kind of thought it was going to be like this unlock a perk tree kind of thing, but you're actually just unlocking mods for your, And I was thinking that was this, wasn't it? Because last week all they were showing us was the Armor 2.0 and the mods in there, but they didn't show us the artifact mod. So it's literally like you choose it, whatever its cost may be, and then it drops a mod in your inventory to slot into things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which the only thing I'm still confused about is the artifact mod slot a completely separate slot on your gear than any of the other?
I don't think so.
mod? So you think it's like coupled in with possibly
what
mods
I
we're
saw,
already used to seeing.
if you go to the TWAB and watch the Xbox Insider, and they have about 5 minutes with Deej and a gentleman named Benjamin Womack, I think, who I think they introduced. I think that was who it was. And they show them unlocking mods from the artifact, and then they go to an armor piece and slot it in, where a mod would go.
Okay. Yeah. I couldn't remember for sure if it was a separate or not.
I could be wrong. There could be a slot just for seasonal stuff, I don't know. But it worked the same as far as
slot it in.
How
and
functions.
you can reset it though. You can reset your artifact, so it still kind of has some qualities of what you would think like a perk tree would, but it's just it's a little bit different. Like we said, you actually pull out the mods from it. But the other thing too about the finishing move, I was going to say, they have not confirmed that finishing moves are in PvP yet. Last week we were saying like we would assume they were. But they have not said anything about finishers. They said, the reason I say that is because they said something on the stream, and I can't remember now, or this interview, that made me feel like they were describing how you can activate them. And something they said, I wish I would have went back and watched it.
Button.
It made me think like, I don't know that these are going to be in PvP.
The way they're showing how they work.
I don't know for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
It obviously can't work exactly the same as they work in PvE.
Right.
Because you would have to have some kind of mechanic in the Crucible where when you have low health, you're stunned.
Right.
Or something. Or it might be as simple as, hey, when you're low health, you glow. And it means that you can do that. But what's the reward, It would definitely make you
looking cool, and
vulnerable
going on a streak.
Unless you have iframes while you're doing it,
Yeah. I don't know, man. Again, this is coming from nowhere but my own speculation, but I get the vibes that finishers might not be in the Crucible, and maybe that's not a bad thing, but it's sometimes if done right, and usually with no iframes, no invincibility frames, they can be cool, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm just surprised they definitely have not, at least anything that I've seen, mentioned in the same sentence finishers and PvP at all.
Yeah.
So we shall see.
All right. We need to know. The people need to know.
Maybe I'll tweet something. We
got a preview of the new activity coming as part of Shadowkeep. It's called the Nightmare Hunt. It's a 3 Guardian Fire Team activity. Where you go and hunt nightmares, which are the resurrected baddies. There's some unique mechanics and modifiers that we see here. Some of them we don't know exactly what they'll do. Champions Overload, Champions Barrier, Torment of Zydron for one of these, Zydron the Gate Lord. So we'll sure find out in time what those things mean and how they all play out, but looks interesting. Mm-hmm. That is where you get some of the cool looking Vex armor, I believe, that we've seen shown off.
And it looks cool. Yeah, we were talking about earlier.
We got a preview of new difficulties for what are they called again? The strikes that are super hard. Nightfalls.
Oh, there you go. Nightfalls.
Come on, brain. There's new difficulties for Nightfalls. Adept at 860 light level, Hero at 920, and Legend at 950. It's interesting. I wonder, I remember them mentioning something about some new materials being tied to Nightfalls. And I'm wondering if we're going to see a return of some similar mechanics to Destiny 1 where, you remember we used to grind Nightfalls for strange coins and different stuff like
3
that.
a week.
I'm wondering how that's going to work.
Yeah, it made me think, Bungie's usually pretty particular about their structure of difficulty names and stuff. So, like, to throw some new ones out here, like Adept and
this is
such.
new.
Yeah, it makes me wonder, like, will others change elsewhere in the game, or is this specific to Nightfalls? Or,
Right.
So, they're usually pretty cohesive with that kind of stuff. It makes me wonder. Yeah.
And a lot of them have changed over time. It used to just be, normal and heroic, and then we got Epic, I think at one point was something for Nightfalls, and then got rid of that entirely, and there were just modifiers, and it's changed a lot over time.
We've been through some stuff.
Yeah. There was an article from Games Radar, and it was 10 questions and answers about the upcoming content. Some of the important, interesting stuff that we didn't hear about yet. One was, are they going to be doing anything with raid gear to help distinguish it from normal gear? And they do mention that there are going to be raid specific mods, similar to stuff that we've seen in the past that we'll be able to earn just in those activities, and slot into the raid gear, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
We learned that there are 2 new strikes, one on Io and one on the moon called the Scarlet Keep, which of course we have to assume is that cool new red tower that's been shown off in so much of the promotional stuff, right? Mm-hmm. We also learned, of course, what the nightmare hunts are, which we mentioned. They mentioned here, they said what activities will support the new Adept, Hero, and Legend difficulty modes. So they mentioned right now that those are related to, they said this is one small taste of what some of those extra levels will be and the activities they'll apply to in Shadowkeep. There's a lot of extra details we're not going into right now, but it is something that everybody will get access to. So it sounds like it might be related to more than just Nightfalls to me. What do you think?
Yep.
I just don't want to tell us what.
Which would make sense. Mm-hmm.
Come on, man.
Not ready for that. Too soon.
Also, they talk about Gambit and how Luke Smith had mentioned, that old Highlander reference, there can only be one. They do clarify that in the next year of Destiny, nothing with Gambit and Gambit Prime is going away or changing. Just that they know that over time there could be changes, long term to what we will see with Gambit. Mm-hmm. So,
I think they're trying to figure out what Gambit should be in its place.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then one of the most interesting things that we learned from Gamescom to me has to do with the power cap. So they mentioned, of course, we know that the soft cap is 900. you'll be able to earn your way up to 950. And then through Pinnacle Powerful Rewards, you'll be able to earn up to 960. But the new thing that we've learned here is that through your artifact, you'll be able to level up as much as you would like.
I know. Unlimited.
Now, they mention as you scale up and add power through your artifact, that the XP requirements will become greater and greater. So I'm sure that there will be some stiff cliffs to climb. And then, of course, the artifact bonus is seasonal. So while you may be able to climb past 960, that is only going to be, it'll only last through that season, and your artifact will reset, or I don't know if you'll get a new artifact, but, that'll end at the end of the season. You'll end up back at 960 at the most, if that's what your gear will put you at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I think it's kind of cool. There are certainly players that will love seeing just how far they can get.
Oh, for sure.
And how much it'll take. I'm sure it'll become quite grindy if it's literally just XP based. And people will find the cheesiest way to do it, right?
Right. Yeah.
What's the best time investment for XP? But I think it's kind of interesting, and it'll certainly allow players to push their power level up and make really tough content possibly a little easier.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, definitely. Yeah, it makes me wonder. I saw this come up in my feed somewhere. I don't remember where, but I've always wanted them. I mean, I had this in my video way back before Forsaken. I would love for them to get rid of the max base level that we are above our Guardians and put, I know it's more characters, but put our power level or something that is a little bit more relevant as you're running through the world, so you can clearly see what level somebody's at. And even in this regard, if they could show it, I heard somebody saying, like, what are they going to do? Just say 999 plus when you hit a certain point. But it did make me wonder, because the artifact, like you said, you're going to level it up with XP. Is that becoming our new, extended past max level leveling system where we get reward, it's just going to be interesting to see how this all pans out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a lot of questions. I would love to see them, though, get rid of unless I'm missing something, there's no benefit to see if someone's level 50 other than the occasional person you run across that's a newbie, I guess. And you're like, oh, cool, new Guardian.
Yeah, man, I haven't even thought about that, the whole level thing.
Mm-hmm. Somebody, and it got me thinking again, like I said, because somebody, sorry, on my Twitter feed, I just kind of saw it scrolling, and I've thought about this many times before, but I really kind of hope they, maybe with this, and this is, again, just pure speculation, but have we seen gameplay? I'm just blanking on all this stuff.
In the Armor 2.0 stream, they mentioned that, I think they removed, what did they remove off the top of your head? Like, maybe it was power level or something else, and instead it shows what class you are. Mm-hmm. What is it they took off the top of your head? Because right now, you
mean in menu or like your actual character running around the world?
Yeah, like your character running around the world. Like when you look at someone in your...
Right now it says 50 and...
Yeah, whatever it says. Like they removed some part of that UI and stuck an icon for your class instead, which I thought was interesting, because
I think I even mocked up, photoshopped a screenshot of mine where I was like, okay, at that point I wasn't even saying power level, I was saying when we could, they set up the system where we could continue leveling past to get the bright engrams or whatever. I'm like, they need to put a numerical value to that, and you can clearly see like how much time someone invests in the game. If they're like level 455, you're like, it's like Paragon levels in Diablo. We've probably talked about this at some point before, but I just feel like that number above our heads could be way more valuable inside the game and meaningful to you and other players than just the, oh, hey, there's another level 50.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm going way off on a tangent. Something just with this made me think, okay, maybe they're doing something different here.
Triggered.
Yeah, exactly.
You've been triggered.
I have. Anyways.
So games. Yeah. So those are some of the interesting points. There was like some other cool stuff in the article, but go read it. It's on Games Radar. And that was all stuff as well that, they've talked about a whole bunch of different things during interviews and stuff. That was some of the more interesting points that I found. And then what else did we see? I think that was really a lot of the major stuff that we've seen so far. I
think so.
Gamescom's almost over, so I don't know if we're going to see anything else that we'll miss on this show, but you never know.
Yeah. Yep. And shout out to the Dirt fam that was there. Met a couple of you Guardians at Guardian Con, I believe Cyborg and I did. But yep. Hope you guys had a good time. Saw some pictures in the Discord.
Yeah, we've always got some Dirt fam representing over at Gamescom, which is great.
Yep. Thank you guys.
So that is the news this week. That's all we got. That's all.
That's all we got.
That's all. Just an hour of news.
Yes. I know I was sitting there kind of downplaying it a little bit, but it was at the beginning of the show, but it's more than I realized, I guess.
Yeah.
Just so focused on cross-save.
Well, Arrow,
anyways,
how was your reset?
Cyborg, my reset has been excellent. Once again, like I mentioned early on, it's been a busy week, but I have gotten in a couple play sessions. I did activate my cross save. I was pumped about that.
Yeah.
Had that fun little game I was playing where I was trying to authenticate, like I said, but I'm trying. I've touched on it already a little bit, but I've been running probably compared to a lot of Guardians behind on my Solstice armor, but I really do want to complete it. I'm over halfway through my blue set. I just got my blue set this past reset, so just trying to focus on that so that once Solstice is over, I can move on to some other stuff. It has made me realize that I don't want to do that many patrols on IO, really. And we hinted at that. That's where I was at last week. And then I have finally, because I've been hunting so many different things, I hadn't spent a ton of time in the EAZ. And it is a fun activity. We were talking a little bit before the show. It's probably, even though it is really cool and I like the boss structure of it and stuff, it's probably not my favorite iteration of what they've done with different things. Again, like you were saying before the show, it's not exactly a wave-based mode, but I don't know if it's the space or what it is, trying to get through the buildings. Like, I love that it's a brand new area and stuff. It's just, I don't know, the area is not exactly my favorite.
I just don't have that much fun with that kind of verticality in this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, I don't want to spend my time running and jumping and trying to figure out where the hole is in the building. I just want to shoot stuff.
Right.
And I don't mean that. I don't want that to come across too negative, because it's cool mode. It's fun. Like, I've enjoyed it. It's one of those things too, which actually we'll hint on in the discourse, but, once you do it, you're doing it so much because of a certain thing. You're also, you have to kind of separate that from what you think initially about the mode, because you kind of just want to go play something else for a little while, a different activity or something. But I don't know. Anyway, so I've spent some time in the EAZ trying to get this blue set done. Stuff didn't take too long. I really thought it was going to take a bit. The keys, the chess, playing with randos and stuff like that. Like, it's pretty, there's a variable there with how many chests you're going to get each pass. But still didn't take too crazy long. I feel like we definitely got to talk about cross save a bit and reset here, man. The positive vibes that have been happening. I mean, it just launched yesterday. Like you said, we're recording on Thursday, but there's been so much on Twitter, and I had that moment. You talked about it. You had that moment. Like, I synced up my stuff. And, actually, before I get to that, I did early this week, I figured out my PC problem. I had input trying to figure out what I had done since I last played Destiny on PC, and I had my displays plugged into the wrong cards and such, and finally figured it out. So I got PC to launch, PC Destiny, and I played a quick match. Dude, my Guardian was, I think, like 305 light or something, and I jumped in with show of the force sniper rifle or whatever, and I don't even remember what primary I had. And I'm like, all right, let's just see if I can remember what I set my key bindings at, how this feels. And it felt super quick. And I mean, I play on high sensitivity with a controller, but it's nothing like mouse and keyboard as far as that goes, sensitivity. And anyways, I did have fun. I got that working. So when cross save hit, I was like, all right, I have my weapons. So I had to go in and goof around on some Crucible too. And sure enough, dude, it felt a little crispier when I had my last word and my beloved with Snapshot Quick Draw versus that old school sniper that I was running with. So it took me a couple games, and it's already feeling pretty good. I can't wait to play together with you. I still have my slide on my mouse button and such and all that kind of stuff that I was trying to work out back in the day when we just thought we were going to play on PC for a little while.
Yeah.
But anyways, cross save, dude. Like, how cool, right? Like,
so awesome,
it's so
man.
weird, dude. Like, I
waited so
logged
long
into PC and then did some things, grabbed some bounties, logged off of PC, and then later that day or whatever, the next, I logged on my PlayStation, and there it is, right where I left it from PC.
Yeah, it's pretty cool how seamless it works, and just, hey, it's there. We got it,
It's so cool, dude, and it's so right for Destiny, and we got to give massive props to the Bungie cross save team. Like, other than a minor hiccup, dude, I can't imagine what all went on behind the scenes. And they were the team. You could see them on Twitter. They were just they were pumped. They were excited for everybody to have it. They were building their team up, with all the hard work that they knew everybody did. And man, it is such a cool thing, dude. Like I said, you and I were kind of talking about it. You seemed like you were. I mean, this whole time we've been building up how like big cross save is and how amazing it's going to be. And sometimes when you think something's going to be really cool, and then it kind of launches and you're like, well, I guess we didn't really utilize that much. I know we're a day in, but it seems like this is going to be as big as we thought it was going to be. Like, to just be able to
between platforms once already on different nights, and like taking advantage of playing with people I've never played with before, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Well, dude, I mean, you and me alone. I tweeted it out tonight. We played together some on PC way back in the D1 days. I had it on Xbox, and we played on Xbox a little bit, but like, we haven't played Destiny together. I mean, what do you think? It's been since it launched on
years.
PC.
Yeah. So
we can play now. Like,
exciting.
we can literally record the show on a weekend, whatever, weeknight, and be like, instead of being like, you gonna play Destiny? All right, man, I'll talk to you via text or, on the show. Now we can just be like, let's hop on, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's great that you can just play with who you want to play with, as long as you've got the equipment to do it,
Yep.
Yep. And it's great for friends that have invested their time on different platforms and stuff and get to hang out again. And
yeah, obviously,
it's a big deal.
crossplay, it'll have its benefits, and be a little bit less expensive version, so you don't have to buy all these other platforms. But man, if a good first step is to have this cross save.
Yeah.
It's huge, dude, for this game.
Definitely.
Anyways, what your reset, man? Like, what
yeah, man, I just got my cross save set up and played a little on PC, played around with that, and I still need to look real hard at some of my settings and everything, but it seems like it's all running pretty good on my machine. And man, it's playing Destiny on PC is so smooth. Like, everything launches really fast. It looks really good. It's a great looking game on PC.
Yeah, it is beautiful. Like, I'm playing it, of course, 105 field of view and stuff too. I will say, when I jumped back to PS4 though, like, it wasn't like jarring or anything, like, it is beautiful on PC, but it's like,
still looks good, but there's like this level of smoothness the game has on a PC that you can't, just with that better frame rate and a little bit better, depending on your monitor, I guess, like, I have 4K on Xbox, so all the colors and the HDR and everything is really good, but only at 30 FPS, like, it's just not as smooth.
Right.
But then the loading times on everything, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Just pulling up your menus, man. It's like, oh yeah, this is awesome. It's so different, man. It's cool.
It is. Yeah, it's cool. Just like way back, I was pumped when PC was going to launch. I just wanted to browse these beautiful menus in the UI with a mouse.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably will plug a controller in some on PC, especially PvE. But it's just cool it's such a great UI, dude. And it works great with a controller and it works great with a mouse. And, and like I said, in PvP, man, it's whipping around with the mouse with that sniper rifle is, it's feeling pretty good. I can't wait to jump in together and play some stuff, man. Hopefully with some sort of in-game PvP here in the next couple months, but who knows?
Right.
We'll see. So, what else you been up to? What have you been doing?
Man, just that and on the grind on that Reckoner title. It is.
Oh yeah.
It is
not yet.
No, I don't know if I'm going to finish in time. I'm probably going to solicit a code for the badge so I can buy it.
And then finish it later.
It's too late.
What is the date on that? Because I kind of want to get my Wayfarer one.
So
I saw it was coming
you have to redeem the codes for some of these titles. If you want to buy the pin by the 31st of August, but you have until September 30th, I believe, to actually buy them. But the point is you've got to have the code in hand. Mm-hmm. And so that's, you have to have earned it by then. So I think I'm going to beg, borrow, or steal a code.
Yeah, for
not
sure.
Steal, but you know what I mean.
Finish it.
Obtain somehow a code.
Somebody that's not going to use it.
Because I don't think I'm going to be able to finish it. It's just it requires so many matches. And I had made progress on a lot of the title, but I mean, for instance, for the Reaper related triumph, you have to kill 50 high value targets in Gambit Prime. Well, you get one a match. So you're going to have to at least complete 50 Gambit Prime matches with the Reaper armor on, because you have to have the I forget what what it's called in the Triumph, but like you have to have enough of the perk set active. So you can't do it while you're doing other stuff unless you're going to quick swap your armor or something. But so you got to do 50 matches as a Reaper and then do other stuff. I mean, it's going to require at least 100 plus matches of Gambit.
Wow.
And,
wow.
I'm not going to be able to finish it, I don't think, but either way, I'll get it done over time. Mm-hmm. So that's what I've been up to,
man.
So yeah, play a little bit on PC.
Grinder.
Things are a little sweatier. I can confirm. On PC.
Yeah.
That's definitely a thing.
It is, man, but I'm probably gonna have to hop on a little bit tonight. How quick? I mean, I actually play on 7 sensitivity on console. I've been at 8 or 9 at different times, but at some point I thought I was still on 8, but I checked the other day, and at some point I moved back down to 7. But dude, the speed at which you can whip around on PC is just unreal. I mean, we knew it was the case. I mean, we played it before, but it's just been a while. It's intense.
Yeah.
There's no limit. Yeah. I mean, you are your own limit to what you can do.
Right.
In the Crucible with mouse and keyboard. But yeah, there's going to be some PvP play.
It's fun.
It is
fun. It's fun.
But console's fun. Don't get me wrong. I love my controller on console. I don't want to upplay this mouse and keyboard talk too much.
Yeah.
But
there's other input devices. I'm actually was playing last night on my controller because I find, and maybe my habits could change this, but ergonomically, it's more comfortable for me to play on controller over a long period of time.
I'm trying. You should have seen how many times I moved my keyboard back, and it's just it's not extremely comfortable no matter what you do. And I'm a hold shift sprint kind of guardian.
You're not a toggler.
I don't want to toggle it. No, I like to hold it. I feel I guess it makes me feel like I'm in control a little bit more of it. And of course you could do the other way for a while, probably get used to it, but that even makes it, I mean, you're constantly holding shift, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. People have been playing mouse and keyboard for ages.
Yeah, if you've been doing it a long time, I've just never done FPS much on M&K, so I'm used to playing other types of game on PC, so I don't have those chops on the mouse and keys to not be terrible.
Yeah. There's just so many more inputs your brain has to think about to do things quickly, especially in PvP. You know, you can be a little bit more chill in casual PvE stuff, but even in raids, I'm sure, you know, like if your brain, it's almost like somewhat like people that haven't gamed much and you see them pick up a controller, right? It's just an extension of our hand at this point. Your brain, if it's not ready for that kind of input device, like those moments are crucial.
Yeah, you can definitely find yourself dropping the ball on something that's important, and you don't want to be the guy screwing up because you can't hit the button right at the right time.
Took me a minute to figure out what I mapped. I could have just went in my menus, but I was already in a Crucible game, and I couldn't remember what I mapped my grenade and my super to. So I was like running around with a full super an entire game.
Oh no!
Like, which one is it? Which one is it?
Yeah. Yeah, plus you don't have paddles.
Right.
You just have more keys, but it doesn't necessarily make them easier to hit.
No.
You know? I don't know.
I try to get everything around those movement keys, but you can't fit everything around those movement keys, so.
Right. No,
it's
definitely
tough.
not. Well, that was our resets so far. There's more to come because it's not even the weekend yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to trying to get some fun playtimes in this weekend with lots of new friends.
Yep.
And old friends.
Same here.
How about some Dirt Fam discourse?
Yeah, dude, let's do it. We got one we actually had last week, but we knew the show was going to be super long, so we're excited to talk about it this week.
Yeah, we got a tweet from at Ragan622. Podcast Addict James, who we hear from on the reg. He says, "Hey guys, have you guys ever had the problem where you grind super hard for something and lose all motivation to play Destiny 2? I just got my full Solstice armor and now I don't want to play anymore. Is it just me?" What do you think, Arrow?
What a great time to talk about this question. Everybody coming off the Solstice grind. What do you think, Cyborg? You go first.
Yeah, I think especially when you grind one particular thing for a long time, it's easy to get bored with it. Or just to get burnt out on something in the game. I don't remember if it was a show that we talked about this or if it was before a show, but me and you were talking about this like 3 weeks ago. And I think that a lot of people get excited about a new thing or like a new grind like Solstice or a new weapon or armor or whatever it is that you want, right? And they go super, super hard and just spend like 2 days or a week just grinding it, 10, 20, 30 hours. And then they get it and then they just turn off Destiny and don't come back for a week. And I don't find that fun. And I think people have a tendency to kill their own fun because they don't pace themselves. And I'm not going to say you're playing wrong. Like if that's how you enjoy playing Destiny, go for it. But I think if more people pace themselves and, metered out things and did a little bit more other activities and kind of spread stuff out a little bit, they might have more fun and feel less burnt out after you gain something,
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
What do you think?
Solstice is a prime example for sure. Like I've not hit the grind hard with Solstice, so it hasn't been super rough for me, and I'm only doing one character. But yeah, I mean, for the question as a whole, I think it's huge for us as Destiny players that there's lots of different kinds of activities in Destiny. Because a prime example is the pinnacle weapons, right? Like you're grinding out Wendigo. Like you are done with strikes at that point after you get that thing, or whatever the pinnacle weapon may be. There's just different instances of it. Obviously, Solstice is another example, and I think you can even get to a point where you just want a little break from Destiny, and that's of course always healthy too. There's a lot of different things that can do that depending on how hard you're going at the grind, like you said. The way that I consume the game, is 3-4 play, not super long play sessions a week. So I don't typically get too burnt out, but I do still periods of time have those, week or two that I play something else. And when I come back, the game's that much sweeter. But it's definitely set up in a way where it can easily do this to you, like you said. So I think you hit right on when you said you kind of try to pace yourself. Maybe don't. If you're gonna jump right in and grind those pinnacle weapons out nonstop, 24/7, just be aware that you might. It's the classic too when you get one, right? Spend all that time in the Crucible, especially when they make you use the weapon to get the type of weapon that you're going for.
Oh yeah.
And then you're like, yeah, I'm done with sniping.
Then you're tired of it.
Yeah, it's like I got my weapon that I wanted, but I'm done playing that way
play with
now.
It.
Yeah, there's just different levels of it. So it's definitely a good question, a good observation. I think all of us Destiny players have experienced this to a certain degree.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep, for sure.
Well, good question, James. Thanks for sending that along. If you're listening and you'd like to ask us a question, maybe talk about something we talked about on the show, or a critique of our opinion, or whatever it might be, you can send your discourse to destinyresetpodcast@gmail.com, speakpipe.com/destinyreset. That's where you can leave us a voice message, or you can hit us up on Twitter or Discord if that's where the best place is for you. Go find us there too.
Do it, Guardians.
Yeah. Hey, do we have any patron shout outs this week?
We do not. We actually did get a new one this week. We sent you a message, Guardian. Just let us know what that crispy gamer tag is, and we'll give you a shout out on the show.
If you don't know what a patron is, go to patreon.com/destinyreset. And for as little as $1 a month, you can support the production budget of our show. You get a few perks. You get a shout out here on the show. You get your gamer tag posted on our website, and you get access to a special channel just for patrons and supporters, where you get to talk to us and other patrons and get a little inside scoop, if you wish, into what things are like behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. Where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter and YouTube at AER0KNIGHT with a 0. What about you, man?
Awesome. You can find me at CyborgSasquatch on Twitter, and you can find us at Destiny Reset on Twitter. You can also find us on the web, DestinyResetPodcast.com. That's your source for all things DRP, including links to subscribe on your favorite podcast app of choice. Don't forget we're on Spotify now, as well as the Podbean app. That's where we are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Podbean?
Yeah, getting a lot of followers on there.
That's our new host. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, thank you. And thank you for your reviews. If you haven't left us a review, please do. I know we have a couple new ones, a couple ratings this week, right? But not a written review.
We got 2 new ratings. No written, but that's okay. That means just as much. We appreciate you taking the time and doing that.
Let's get us seen and heard by more Guardians just like you.
Yes. There you have it.
All right, man. Great show. Lots of exciting hype to build over the coming month. Can't wait.
Oh, yeah, man. They're laying the new foundation for our favorite game. I usually ask you if you're going to play Destiny tonight, but tonight is different. I asked you if you're planning on playing it all tonight, and if maybe we can link up, Cyborg. We can actually play together now. It's kind of crazy. We may not do it tonight. That's okay, but the possibility, the option is there, my friend.
What a world. What a world.
I don't know how you're feeling about strikes for Solstice armor.
Yikes, my dude.
Yeah, I think you just turned me down. Too funny. All right, guys. Until next reset, have fun playing Destiny 2 and take care, Guardians.